I swear someone walked above me every single night. But this building doesn't have any apartment after 408. There's number 409. My name is Adam. And last year I moved into an old apartment building in Utah. From the outside it looked normal, 4 stories. Chipped white paint, dim hallway lights that flickered more than they glowed. I was 21, freshly out of college, living alone for the first time. When I arrived, the building's old caretaker, Mr. Dolan, shook my hand and gave me a strange warning. If you hear anything above you at night, just ignore it. I laughed, telling him I lived on the top floor. He stared at me longer than he should have and muttered, "That's the problem," before walking away. I should have realized something was wrong. That very first night, I heard heavy footsteps right above my bed. Slow at first, then pacing back and forth. But above my unit was nothing but the roof. Confused, I went into the hallway and climbed the small stairwell to the attic door. There was no apartment up there, no extra room. Just utilities. The building numbers ended at 408, and then there was nothing. Over the next couple of nights, the sounds got worse. Sometimes footsteps. Sometimes scratching, fingernail scratching. When I asked the girl living below me, Alyssa, if she had ever heard anything, she hesitated before saying, "We all do. Just don't think about it." Her voice carried a fear I couldn't ignore anymore. The 5th night changed everything. I was editing on my laptop when I heard something being dragged overhead. Something heavy. Then a massive thud shook the whole ceiling. Panicked, I called Mr. Dolan. He answered in a frantic voice, warning me not to leave my apartment or open the door for anyone. As soon as I hung up, the ceiling came alive with scratches that followed my every step. When I walked into my bedroom, moonlight revealed a shadow moving across the ceiling, moving like a person, pausing right above me as if watching. But it had no body to cast it. I shined my flashlight upward and the shadow vanished. 3 slow knocks hit my door. I froze. Remembering the caretaker's warning, I stayed silent. Then the knocking came again, but from my window. When I peeked outside, someone was standing on the 3rd floor ledge. No human could stand there. Its limbs bent the wrong way, its hands pressed against the glass, and where its face should have been was a black hollow that swallowed light. It tilted its head at me like it was examining something fragile. Then, incredibly, it began melting through the window. Not breaking it, not opening it, seeping through it like smoke forced through cracks. When it finally formed inside the room, I realized I was looking at the man from apartment 409. Its feet didn't touch the floor. Its neck hung at a sick angle. And then, in a soundless whisper that somehow filled the room, it said, "Why are you living beneath me?" I ran for the door just as it burst open, and Mr. Dolan rushed in. He had a handful of salt in one hand and an old metal box in the other. He threw salt at the creature, which recoiled violently before dissolving into the wall like dark vapor. We sprinted into the hallway. When the caretaker finally caught his breath, he told me the truth. "Every tenant hears someone above them," he said, "but there's nothing above you. The man from 409 doesn't live above or below anyone. He's trapped between the floors, between the walls. He was murdered here decades ago, and he reenacts his death through any apartment that's quiet enough." I could barely speak when I asked if he would come back. The caretaker looked at me with a certainty that turned my blood cold. "He never leaves. He just hides." I moved to another city, got a new apartment, tried to forget everything. But last night, as I was falling asleep, I heard it again, those same heavy footsteps right above me. I looked up. A shadow moved across the ceiling. He had found me again. If this story shook you, and you want more real-style horror in this tone, hit subscribe to Hauntra TV, turn on the bell, because the next story might remind you that someone in the space between floors might already be living above you. Hauntra TV, where fear lives next door.